All right, y'all. All right, I'm trying to make this video all day, but let's go again to it. Because right now I have no distractions, so let's get this done. All right. So first and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Shah. And with this video, I want to kind of continue on that this topic of a false balance. But in this video, I want to in particular, speak on the marriage aspect. When it comes down to a woman and a man in a relationship, I want to talk about that. It's like because of the fact that people may not realize how important and how crucial, how sacred a marriage really is. People may not really understand how sacred it really is. And I'm gonna get into a lot of things. One statement I want to make before I get into this whole lesson, I want to say this. So I made a video like one of my older uploads where I talked about how sex is marriage. But even though sex is marriage, marriage isn't sex. All right. Sex is marriage, but marriage isn't sex. I'm gonna get deep into that in a minute later in this lesson. All right. So keep that in mind. Sex is marriage, but marriage isn't sex. All right. But also at the same time, too, I want to expound more on like I said, things that can cause a false balance or what can happen to marriages or to people who may be in a marriage whenever a false balance is present. All right. And we're going to talk about divorce. We're going to talk about, how it happens and, things that can lead to a divorce or the reason why somebody or lawfully why somebody should divorce someone. We're going to get into all that. We're going to talk about fornication. We're going to talk about all that. And we're going to hopefully in this video, in this lesson, I can edify y'all, edify some people to help people really understand this topic in general and just understand the importance of marriage. Understand the importance of marriage and how the Most High he just holds that dear to his heart. And whenever he sees his people divorced, whenever he sees his people not united, they're separated, they're divided. Whenever he sees that, it's like a slap in his face. His own creation, his own people are not getting along. They're not, trying to unite. Just doing things each and every day to just separate and just to be divided. And they're not seeing how the Most High is affected by that. All right. But we're gonna get into it. Not gonna waste any more time. Let's go and get into it. All right. So the first verse I want to start off with is Malachi chapter 2, verse 16. Malachi chapter 2, verse 16. All right. And it reads, I'm gonna read it in the NLT because I know the KJV can sometimes be confusing. And I just want to make people really understand what it's saying and make it as clear as possible for everybody that's listening. All right. So verse 14, it reads, you cry out, why doesn't the Lord accept my worship? I'll tell you why. Because the Lord witnessed the vows you and your wife made when you were young, but you have been unfaithful, but you have been unfaithful to her, though she remained your faithful partner, the wife of your marriage vows. All right. So this is addressing the men. All right. It can go both ways for the man and the woman, but this verse is mainly addressing the men. Why? Because the men are the head of the household. We are the head. We are the main ones that the Most High comes to address certain things. We are the ones that have to make sure that everything in our household, whether between our family, between our wives, everything has to be done correctly in the way that He wants to be done through us. All right. We got to make sure that we're following the Most High's laws, that we're doing it to the best of our ability, and that we're making sure that our relationship is in line with that same with those laws. All right. Make sure everything is done the way the Most High wants to be done. So if the head is not in line, if the head is not doing his job, then everything else is going to be messed up below him. His children are not going to be in line. His wife's not going to be. It's not going to be right. His whole household is just going to fall into pieces because of the fact that he's not doing his job as a man, as the head. All right. So when you have a man out here going behind his wife's back, cheating on her, sleeping with other women, doing things that he shouldn't be doing. When you got a man doing those things, doing unlawful things, committing fornication, all that stuff like that, it's going to cause a lot of division, and it's going to cause that false balance I talked about last week. How you have the man just wanting everything to go his way. If it doesn't go his way, then everything is just all out of whack in his eyes. But in the Most High's eyes, it has to be balanced. You got to make sure that everything is balanced and that everything is equal between each other. When it comes down to love, respect, loyalty, when it comes down to all that, everything must go both ways. It must go both ways, all right? Let's continue. Verse 15. Didn't the Lord make you one with your wife, and body and in spirit you are his? And what does he want? Godly children from your union. So basically the first commandment that God gave to human beings was to be fruitful, multiply. So literally that's what he wants. He literally loves sex. He loves marriages. He loves marriage. And he loves sex. Sex is marriage. That's the first thing he told his people to do, to have sex, literally. Be fruitful, multiply. So he wants his people to be divided, not Salakia. He wants his people to be united so that they can continue this same trend of unity throughout the generations. He doesn't want to see his people fall down this trap of being these curses throughout their entire life, you know what I'm saying, or throughout all the generations. He wants his people to be blessed, but his people keep doing things over and over again to cause them to be cursed. All right, we got to figure out what we need to do to get out of that curse, so that we'll be able to create this bond and keep this covenant between the Most High and our wife. You got to keep this bond like sacred. You got to keep it tied up, keep it going for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Forever, until death. All right. So it says, so guard your heart, remain loyal to the wife of your youth. For I hate divorce, says the Lord. For I hate divorce, says the Lord, the God of Israel. To divorce your wife is to overwhelm her with cruelty, says the Lord of heaven's armies. So guard your heart to not be unfaithful to your wife. So literally, the Most High says that he hates divorce. In the KJV, it says something different, but still the same thing. It says, for the Lord, the God of Israel, saith that he hateth putting away. So putting away is the same thing as divorce, all right? But the NLT just makes it more clear that it's divorce, all right? Either way, though, the Most High, he doesn't want to see his people break that covenant. The covenant that a man and a woman have between the Most High, he wants it to stay. He wants it to flourish. But like I said, we do so many things that can cause divorce. That false balance is the main thing that could cause divorce. All right. Along with the fact that man can be doing things that the woman may not even like, or that may be very unlawful for the man or the woman, to divorce them. All right. So let's get into divorce and talk about the only reason why somebody should divorce anyone. Okay. Let's talk about that, because a lot of people need to understand the reason, or the main reason why, or the lawful way to divorce somebody. Okay. And we're going to go to what Christ said about divorcing. Okay. So even though the Most High hates divorce, he still makes it an option for only one reason. And I'm gonna show you the reason why. All right. So verse 31, Matthew chapter 5, verse 31, it reads, it hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife or divorce his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. So they had a bill of divorcement they had to write to conform the divorcement. All right. Verse 32, but I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery. So what does this mean? Basically saying that the only reason you should divorce your wife or your husband, because it goes both ways, all right? The only reason you should divorce your wife or husband is because of fornication. That's why it says saving for the cause of fornication. And we're going to go into what fornication is for people that may not know, because you got to understand every little aspect of it. You got to go deep into what adultery is, fornication is, divorce. We got to go deep into all that so we can understand everything in its proper context, all right? So that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery. So basically what it's saying is that if you divorce your husband or wife for any other reason besides fornication, whenever that man or woman goes to somebody else and marries somebody else, that person is committed adultery. Why? Because even when you divorce them, they're still your husband or wife. The only reason, once again, why you should divorce anybody is because of fornication. All right. If there's any argument that y'all have, work it out. If there's anything besides fornication going on, you have to try to work it out. All right. Talk it out, have conversations, figure out what needs to be done to keep y'all, you know what I'm saying, together. All right. You gotta work it out, work through it. I know it may be hard. I know at times you may not like the arguments, you may not like the disagreements, you may not like the times where y'all, you know what I'm saying, have a hate for each other. But you have to go through all that, you know what I'm saying, to first of all obtain endurance, longevity, and that genuine bond and understanding between each other. That's literally like that's the reason why the Most High says He hates divorce, because there are many reasons why somebody may divorce somebody, and I'm gonna give y'all my opinion on a few things in a minute, but at the same time too, I'm gonna let y'all know how the Bible and in the words of Christ, they trump my opinion. So I'm gonna let y'all know, and this is just for anybody in general. The Bible trumps your opinion. Whatever the words of Christ or Yahweh is, they trump your opinion. So whatever your opinion is on something, if it's not going based up with the Most High or it's not going based up what His words say, then it's null and void. I don't need to hear it. All right. But I'm gonna let y'all know some things too, kind of give y'all my perspective on how I know a lot of people will think. Okay. And also at the same time, give y'all, like I said, my opinion. But at the same time, though, I'm just let the word have the end all be all. You know what I'm saying, have the last word. All right. So basically, like I said with this verse, letting you know that if you don't divorce somebody because of fornication, then you're going to cause that person to commit adultery. So what is adultery? Adultery is basically when a man or a woman is having sex with another man's woman or another woman's man. All right. When having sex with somebody else's wife or somebody else's husband, that's adultery. Okay. Now let's get into fornication. Let's get into fornication and let you know, because adultery is a form of fornication. Adultery is a form of fornication. But we're going to get into all the types of fornication to help you really understand exactly the reasons or the things you should look at or the things you should look for when it comes down to divorcing somebody. All right. So fornication. The Greek word for fornication is porneia, right here, G4202, porneia. All right. It literally says porn, or the first four letters of it is porn. All right. So that's to let you know right there that pornography is a form of fornication. Pornography is a form of fornication. All right. So if you catch your husband or wife watching pornography, you can divorce them. You can divorce them for that. You can, because there should not be any reason. There should be any reason why you have a husband or a wife and you're watching other people have sex. Your husband and your wife, like, they are the ones you should go to for that. So why you watch other people do it and getting aroused by it? That's fornication in itself. You watching other people have sex, like, no, that's not how a marriage should be, or that shouldn't be done at all in a marriage. Watching pornography at all. All right. Now let's get into more of what fornication is. All right. So we know that pornography, that's fornication. Adultery, committed adultery and having sex with somebody else's husband or wife, that's fornication. Homosexuality, right here, between the same sex, man and man, woman and woman, that's lesbianism as well. Intercourse with animals, bestiality, sexual intercourse with close relatives, incest, or sexual intercourse with a divorced man or woman. So that's the same thing I was talking about in Matthew that we just brought up. All right. So all those things tie into fornication. So pornography, let me put down the list. So y'all make a whole list of these things. So pornography, adultery, which is committed, not committed, but adultery is having sex with somebody else's husband or wife. for homosexuality or lesbianism, having sex with the same sex, bestiality, intercourse with animals, incest, sexual intercourse with close relatives, and the same thing I talked about when I said sexual intercourse with divorced man or woman, that's adultery. All right. All these things are play a part, or all these things are forms of fornication. Okay. So if anybody wants to know why you should divorce somebody, or would they want to have a valid reason to divorce somebody, if they don't do any of these things, you can't divorce them. Now at the same time too, now this is where it gets tricky. All right, and this is where it gets messed up. This is why you should be careful with who you have sex with. This is why you should be careful with who you have sex with, because if you have sex with somebody, you literally they become your husband and your wife forever. When you have sex with somebody, they become your husband and your wife forever. At that point in time, you just made a covenant with them, with God. Made a covenant with them and with God. All right. So when it comes down to physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse, if your husband or your wife, now I'm gonna say it like this, all right. Like I said, this is why you should be careful who you have sex with. If they're doing any of these things before you have sex, you can leave them. You ain't gotta be with them. You ain't gotta worry about them. Why? Because they're not your husband or wife. All right. Because at that point, this verse don't apply to you. You ain't gotta worry about fornication at all. You ain't gotta worry about divorcing at all. Why? Because they're not your husband or wife. The only way somebody is considered your husband or wife is if you have sex with them. All right. So if they're doing anything to that extent of physical, mental, emotional, spiritual abuse to you before you have sex, before y'all get officially married, before y'all consummate the marriage through sex, you can leave them and not have to worry about them. But if you do have sex with them and afterwards they do physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, or sexual abuse, whatever it may be, you can't divorce them. Because why? Lawfully, the only reason you should divorce somebody is because of fornication. So you better hope that person you better hope that person that is physically, mentally, emotionally abusing you, you better hope, it sounds messed up, but you better hope they committed fornication. You better hope they are. If they are, you can leave them. But if they're not, then you got to figure it out. You got to deal with that. But at the same time, though, me personally, I would not want to be with somebody or be married to anybody who's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually abusing me at all. I'm pretty sure nobody would. Pretty sure. So personally, me, I would divorce if even if I had sex with that person, I would want to divorce them, but I can't. But at the same time, though, that's why I said you have to be careful with who you have sex with. That is why there is something called a courting stage. Courting. When you have to at least meet the person, get to know them for a few years, maybe. Get to know, you know what I'm saying, get to understand them, get to see how they act, how they move, what they do. Get to really, you know what I'm saying, like fill them out. And when you have that courting stage, it helps you, you know what I'm saying, make a wise decision in the future. Should I have sex with this person? Should I make this person my wife or my husband? When you really observe what they do and how they act, how they move, then that'll help you make a better and wiser decision in the future. And it can also help you avoid having sex with them if you know that they're abusive, or you figure out that they're abusive in the future, that they physically abuse people, they emotionally abuse people. If you figure out all these things, you don't have to worry about any of these issues at all. All right. That's why I said you got to be careful who you have sex with. All right. Got to be very careful. Don't just be going around here and just be, oh, I'm gonna just have sex with everybody and just be a hoe and I just want to have sex and I just want to, you know what I'm saying? No. Sex is nothing to play with at all. It's not a game. It's not just, you know what I'm saying, it's just some easy, like, even though it can be easy to do, but it's gonna leave a toll on you in the future. All them spirits on you and everything. Like when you have sex with somebody, that y'all become one. There's spirit attached to you. So when you be going out there having sex with everybody, you have like just 30 spirits on you because of the fact that you just got horny and you just want to have sex and just want to use everybody. No, you can't be doing all that. You can't be doing all that. All right. That's going to cause a lot of problems in the future for you. That's why you got to be careful. You got to be very careful and pick and choose, you know what I'm saying, your battles. Pick and choose your battles and be wise how you move in this world, all right? So all this can be avoided. All this can be avoided if there was a just weight between our people. It all comes back to the false balance. When there's a false balance between our people, that's how this stuff happens. You got to worry about divorcing people. You got to worry about, you know what I'm saying, these laws pertaining to divorcing. When a false balance is there, that is when issues come up. But when you have a just weight, you ain't got to worry about none of that at all. You're good. You got the man, the woman, they're both submissive. They both love each other. They both reciprocate the same energy. That's what the Most High loves, all right? So let's get into the whole sex thing. Like I said, sex is marriage, but marriage isn't sex, all right? Sex is marriage, but marriage isn't sex. You gotta be careful who you have sex with. You gotta be careful who you make your husband or wife, all right? They're both the same things. Having sex and husband, same thing, but y'all know what I'm trying to say, all right? I know what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna read this verse in the KJV first, then I'm gonna read it in the NLT so I can better understand. But let's get into what Paul said about sex, okay? And also he talked about fornication as well. We're going to just explain all that, all right? So 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof you wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. So basically the Corinthians, they wrote a letter to Paul to address a certain question concerning men who were having sex with other men's wives, all right? That's what he said. This was his response, all right? Verse 2. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication. So we already know what fornication is. Now, one of the forms of fornication is adultery. So to avoid a man having sex with somebody else's wife, this is what he said you have to do. Let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. All right. Now, I'm gonna show you this as well. Let me say this too. Like I said, fornication is adultery and also pornography. Pornography. Like I said, when you have your own husband or wife, you shouldn't be watching pornography. The things you watch people do, you should be doing that with your husband or wife. You shouldn't have to get aroused or get a rise out of watching other people have sex. You should be having sex with your husband or wife. All right. And Paul even expounds on that in the same chapter. All right. Let's read. So verse 3, that the husband render unto the wife do benevolence, and likewise also the wife to the husband. So in the KJV, it's not making it clear, but let me go to the NLT to help y'all understand what it's saying. All right. So verse 3, it says the husband should fulfill his wife's sexual needs, and the wife should fulfill her husband's needs. All right. So basically, it's saying that the man and the woman, they both should offer each other sex. Whenever the man or the woman is horny, whenever they're going through those phases, or whenever they want sex, they're supposed to give it to each other. But like I said, marriage isn't sex though. This isn't the only thing that, you know what I'm saying, that is required or that is needed. There is more than just that makes a marriage. Sex does not make a marriage. All right. Sometimes you got to go, like, car rides, go on dinner dates, nice bubble baths, massages, go to little movies and go to little events, have some you know what I'm saying, some time with each other, like quality time with each other, like things like that. That's what makes a marriage, not just sex. All right. If the only thing you offer to your man or to your woman is sex, there's an issue. Even though it is right to fulfill the sexual needs of your husband or wife, but that is not the only thing that should be required of a marriage. That shouldn't be the main thing that a man and a woman should have to beg for. That shouldn't be the only thing that a man or woman is worried about. Oh, I just no, every single day, even though a lot of people may have a high sex drive, they have sex every single day, which, you know what I'm saying, like, I ain't got a problem with, unless she's on her period. But other than that though, that shouldn't be the main thing you should be trying to worry about. You just want sex every time. At that point, it's lust. That's not love, that's lust. All right. But at the same time, though, it's still showing you a just weight. This is not a false balance at all, because it's going both ways. It's saying that it's saying what the husband should do, what the woman should do. It goes both ways. All right. Verse 4, the wife gives authority. It's like it. The wife gives authority over her body to her husband, and the husband gives authority over his body to his wife. Do not deprive each other of sexual relations unless you both agree to refrain from sexual intimacy for a limited time so you can give yourselves more completely to prayer. All right. So this lets you know that sex isn't marriage. All right. Or how do I say it? No, Slock it. This lets you know how marriage isn't sex. Sex is marriage, but marriage isn't sex. All right. In order to consummate a marriage, you must have sex. But in order for a marriage to thrive, it doesn't just only need sex. So it's saying that at the same time, do not deny each other of sex, but that should not be the only thing that you should be worrying about. The only reason why y'all should avoid having sex is if y'all both come to an agreement that, okay, I don't want to sit here and always, you know what I'm saying, have sex. I don't want to sit here and just, use you for your body. I want to, at the same time too, have a balance. All right. That's that false balance I was talking about. Whenever you just have just only sex, if the only thing that you do in your relationship is just sex, there's no room for love. There's no room for true, genuine love if it's just only sex. All right. And that's the main issue that happens with a lot of relationships, a lot of people in general, when everything that they, you know what I'm saying, base their relationship off of is lustful. It's not even true love. It's not even spending quality time. It's not really, you know what I'm saying, anything that the Most High would approve of. Not even Paul. Paul is showing you that there has to be a balance in all that. Yes, we're going to have sexual desires. Yes, we're going to, you know what I'm saying, be horny at times, but it shouldn't be an everyday thing to where, oh, all you need, that's the only thing you ask for. Like, no. Let me read it again for y'all. Do not deprive each other of sexual relations unless you both agree to refrain from sexual intimacy for a limited time so you can give yourselves more completely to prayer. Afterward, you should come together again so that Satan won't be able to tempt you because of your lack of self-control. So Paul knows that if we go a certain amount of time without sex, we can fall into fornication. That's when the husband's mind goes, oh, okay, she's not having sex with me, or she's not giving me sex. So now what do I do? What do I do now? That's when they have in their mindset, oh, that now that they gotta resort to something else. And that's when they go thinking, okay, they can have sex with somebody else's wife, or they watch pornography. That's what happens when you don't have that clear understanding in a relationship. All right. That's when these thoughts start, you know what I'm saying, running in your mind about, oh, like he's not giving me sex, she's not giving me sex, so I might as well do it with somebody else, or I might as well, you know what I'm saying, watch pornography and do something else. But all these things that you do and that you resort to is unlawful. It's fornication. That's why Paul said in the beginning, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own husband and his let every man have his own husband and his own wife. All right. So that's the whole point I'm trying to get to with y'all, is just like letting y'all know that there should be a balance in everything. All right. A balance in sex, a balance between the man and woman when it comes down to like their roles, when it comes down to respect, love, peace, loyalty, faithfulness. When it comes down to every aspect, it all has to be a balance. It can't be a false balance. If you want to really show love to your wife, you can't be sitting here begging her for sex every single day. That shouldn't be the only thing you should be asking asking your wife for. Sometimes ask your wife, hey, wife, you want to go out to dinner? You want to go on a walk? You want to go to the movies? What you want to do? You want to go get something to eat? Like things like that. Not, oh, let's have sex. Like I said, that's the only thing that you ask for. That's the only thing that you even look towards, or even look for in a woman or in your wife. That's not balanced. That is not balanced. All right. So hopefully with this video, people understood what the message I was trying to relay, and also got a further understanding of fornication, of divorcing, of just how you can even save your marriage. Because this video may be on time for a lot of people, depending on, you know what I'm saying, who may see it. I don't know, there may be somebody out there who's trying to thrive in their relationship. There may be somebody out there who's looking towards or looking forward to marry somebody. And a lot of things in this video can help somebody. It can help many people, even myself. A lot of these things that I'm teaching right now, like I'm learning myself, and I'm trying to help other people understand what I learned. And I hope that people can really, you know what I'm saying, take these lessons and really use it to their advantage and not just take it for granted. Because, you know, the Most High and His word, like this word, this Bible, this whole Bible is literally a guide for life. It's literally a life guide. If you use this Bible as your life guide, as what you need to be doing to thrive in life, you don't need no, you know what I'm saying, no counselor, or no what's called what's called degree, or you don't really need anything but the word to help you, you know what I'm saying, understand how to live life. The Bible has the answers. You just need to search for it. If you're not trying to look for the answer, then you're just gonna be lost. But hopefully this video, like I said, it helps somebody understand this topic of a false balance. And I'm glad that the Most High put this word on me to help somebody out, and to also help me out. Like I said, like learning these things and growing in this word and just growing in this truth. I'm just glad that, you know, I'm in the position I'm in right now to just be able to even live out this word and live out these lessons. And I appreciate lessons. I don't just say it. Like, I gotta actually live it out. You know what I'm saying, and I'm hope that y'all do as well. But I want to end this. I'm gonna end this off by giving all praises to Yahweh by Shema Shah. And until next time, shalom.